Hi everybody, Grit21 back with another video. And today's video is kind of a follow-up video to one I had posted about a week or so ago in regards to how to use ChordJam with FL Studio. And as you guys remember, I was talking about the idea of using a MIDI out and then using a MIDI in with your various virtual instruments inside FL Studio. And that seemed to connect the two plugins together. But very recently, I discovered that you can actually use Patcher and your virtual instrument and basically have Patcher link the two plugins together for whatever it is that you're trying to compose using ChordJam and say like Kontakt, or in some cases you can actually use the Flex plugin, which is built in FL Studio. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through on how to set that all up. And it's actually really simple, thankfully. So let's go ahead and hop into FL Studio here. So I've got an empty project, and what we're going to do is basically hit the little plus icon, and we're going to bring out a Patcher plugin. Patcher is good for a lot of different things. One of them is what we're using for them today. It's also good for a lot of audio plugins and EQs and all other stuff, but today we're going to be using it for something specific. So what you're going to do now is, instead of doing a whole like MIDI out, MIDI in, which is kind of a tedious process, we're going to make this super simple and easy. So we're going to go ahead and grab ChordJam, and we're going to go ahead and just drag it right inside Patcher. Now, obviously, right away, FL doesn't quite understand what we're trying to do with it. It's trying to immediately do an audio out, which is what ChordJam does not do. And it actually produces, if you guys forgot, it actually basically produces, chords and scales and things like that. It has a myriad of different things that I'm still learning how to do. But to set this up, what we need to do first inside ChordJam is actually go to the gear icon. And we're still doing a MIDI output, but we're not going to be doing a MIDI input for the receiving plugin. In this case, we're actually going to use Flex since it's built into FL Studio. So in this case now, it really doesn't matter what MIDI output you use. I think for today's tutorial, I'm just going to use MIDI output 5. So that's now set up, and we're going to click out of the settings, brings you back into the main user interface like so. So we're done here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to right click inside Patcher. We're going to go ahead and add the Flex plugin. And we're going to have to do a little bit of rerouting here. So just by default, FL just thinks, oh, you ought to just, it's going to, MIDI in is the blue line, yellow line is the audio out, but that's not what we're doing. Instead, we're going to unlink all of this, and we're going to go from the blue line MIDI in, blue line MIDI out into the MIDI input of Flex. From the output of Flex, we're going to take the yellow line and we're going to plug it back into FL Studio. And now we've basically essentially have linked the two together, and I don't have my audio here. Let me quick give myself audio to listen to while we do this. And I'll go ahead and pull out this just to show that it's working. So when I go to hit a key, as you can obviously see, there's activities. So there's that MIDI data going into Patcher, MIDI data going out from ChordJam, MIDI data going into Flex, and then finally the audio out going from Flex back into FL Studio. And that is basically what I found to be the easiest routing to get them to all talk to each other and play nice with each other. It eliminates having to even create like sequencing for inside ChordJam, where auto generates chords for you, because actually what I really found was super cool is, let's just say you're making a main pattern for something. Because of the way that Patcher uniquely works inside FL Studio, now what you can actually do is go into your piano roll, and I'm going to just drag this over here. Hold on, come here, piano roll. If you go into piano roll, now we can just simply put, I'll just go to a bunch of different things here, just kind of show a point here. So FL will play these MIDI notes as one singular note, but ChordJam will play them as full chords because of the way that the MIDI patching is working inside FL Studio. So if I go to hit play here, you can kind of get the idea that now basically you have to essentially just lay out one singular MIDI note or input, and ChordJam will autofill the entire chord set and make Flex or whatever it is that you're wanting to play all together. And I also would like to show, to kind of further solidify this point, I'm going to actually replace the Flex plugin with Kontakt now. So this works with Kontakt. This works with any plugin in FL Studio that can take a MIDI out, MIDI in, inside Patcher. So let's go ahead and open up Kontakt. Let's go ahead and open up, sure, Piano Grand, why not? And we'll go ahead and play that same set of piano roll, and I'll pull out ChordJam just to show you. And there you go. There's a really easy and simple way to get ChordJam and Kontakt, or ChordJam and Flex, to talk to each other without having to do all that weird, funny MIDI in and output like we did before. If you guys are confused, you can go see that tutorial in the card right here. And that is today's tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment section down below. And thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.